We never really know if contacting the dead will work. It's all an experiment, trying to connect to the people who have passed, who were close to us or close to the people that we know. And the connection can be severed by a wide range of things that are out of our control. When it comes down to just our connection to a person, sometimes they don't want to talk to us. Sometimes they're unable to because they've traveled too far, or they were never really aware of the spiritual realm or how it works, so they don't know how to make the connection, and the guidance is not prevalent because since they didn't have a connection to the spiritual world, there are no spiritual beings in order to guide them. Now, this is a terribly sad state of affairs because the vast majority of the human race are not spiritually aware. And by the time we reach a point where we die, either by some random occurrence, by battle, or by old age, we have to make sure that we have some connection to the realms beyond that we either wish to go to or wish to have contact with. Because if we don't, even if we want to stay here in the spirit, even if we don't have contact with other realms and don't have the ability to do so because we didn't strengthen that connection in life, we're going to want it when that time comes about, because if that time comes and we're left high and dry because we never really valued spiritual things, there is nobody to help us beyond that point. I mean, there are certain beings that can, but you have to be in the know with those beings in order for them to reach out to you and guide you along the path. Now, if somebody's karma is especially good, is especially crisp, then there will be beings that will just guide you by proxy. Since you have such good karma, there will be beings that say, okay, well, I'm going to guide you to your next destination. And the vast majority of people in the world will have some being, some angel, sometimes even some demon, that will try to show them the way, between this realm and the next, and also the next phase of their journey. However terrifying or glorious it might be, most people will have embraced something so much in life that they will be connected to a certain force that is beyond life. This is a very hard thing to explain, a very hard thing to understand, but through studying many different spiritual traditions, many different spiritual practices, magic, the occult, and having spiritual experiences myself, even recording some on YouTube videos that I've shared, I found that it is best to have some connection to the realms beyond while we are in this realm. Because if we do not even try to reach out and understand other realms and maybe even try to contact them, then the journey that we take up when we die is going to be that much more difficult. Because if you are at your house and you want to follow a path to a certain city that you really love, but you have to walk towards that city. You can't, or maybe you can even drive towards that city, but you don't know the route. Isn't it best to have a GPS system, or perhaps somebody who can tell you the way? And really, it's different beings and different spirits or different angels, sometimes demons, that will show you how to get to where you want to go. So that is the eternal GPS. Those beings that exist in between, in the void, where we imagine life is, compared to where we imagine death is. Those beings that exist between the void, and there's plenty of them, desire nothing more than to guide the ones who are associated or attuned to their particular planes, their particular realms, to the destination. So, it is best to take up arms mentally, intellectually, spiritually, before we ever get to the point of death, and say, okay, I'm going to walk this path, and by the time that I die, this path will be no longer a mystery. And those who will guide me along this path are no longer strangers. You will expect to meet certain beings, certain spirits, certain angels, and sometimes demons, so I don't deal with demons. When you expect to meet them and for them to guide you because you know them so well and you've basically rehearsed what will happen after death and know so much about the path that you are to take up when you die. When you know all of these things and when you're so associated with these beings, death no longer becomes a scary journey into the jungle or to the forest. It becomes a paved path that all you have to do is, okay, well, I'm about to die, so I'm going to walk that path. Or I have died, let me walk that path. I even know the words that will call the guardians that'll help me. I even know the signs along the path that will guide me to my destination. So it is always important to think about death before we die. It is always important to relate ourselves to what we want to be in the ultimate sense, what we want to progress to, what plane of existence we want to exist in order to put that as our North Star, as you will. And every action in life should be taken into context in relation to that place we want to go, that North Star. So whatever your North Star is, always hold your current life, the life you're living right now, in relation to that star. And don't be afraid of death, because if you're afraid, that doesn't make it any less painful. That doesn't make it any less prominent when death comes near. It actually makes it so much worse. So think about death. Think about the afterlife. Think about where you want to go. Think about what beings you want to contact and who will guide you, who you want to guide you. Because only then will you be prepared for the end. And the next leg of your journey will not be a torture, but it'll be a planned scenario, like taking a camping trip, where you know where the path is, you know what you need to bring along, the supplies, and you even know the site. All you have to do is follow through with everything that you know. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope every single one of you have a great day and continue to join me on this channel.